Welcome to Moving Forward, sponsored by MPW Mocklink TV and Mocklink Internet, online at mpw.org. Each weekday morning, our local talk segment brings you the people who are helping move our community forward. Let's start the show.
Good morning, AM 860, FM 95.1, KWPC. I'm Jordan Davis. Thanks for joining us this morning for Moving Forward. We're kicking it off. Once again, this always brought to you by Muscatine Power and Water. Say hello to Mocklink Phone, your new local phone company. Fiber customers get it now. Switching is easy, and you can keep your old number. Learn more at mpw.org. Again, I'm Jordan Davis. Thanks for joining us here for Moving Forward. And joining me in the studio this morning, Jane Daufeldt.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, we're really excited to have you in this morning to talk a little bit about what it is that you guys are standing for when it comes to the Pearl of the Muscatine, the old logo, and the new logo, kind of where you guys are at.
It's actually the Pearl of the Mississippi.
Oh, what did I say? Muscatine.
Yes,
Sorry,
yes.
Pearl of Mississippi.
Yeah, we want to keep that.
Gotcha. And that's the stance you guys are taking. So you're opposed to the new change, the new logo change.
We're opposed to the logo change. We're not opposed to the marketing plan.
Gotcha.
So I think it's wonderful if Muscatine's going to be marketed and there's resources to do a marketing plan. And then it's going to cost a lot more money probably to do the implementation. But we want to make sure that they get the image correct for what Muscatine really is. And the reasons we'd like to keep the tagline Pearl of the Mississippi, and also it seems like there's quite a few other people in the community that want to do that because we have petitions that are out there. I have people that are calling me, sending me emails saying, keep it. A pearl implies a worth or a gem. It's a symbol of beauty, and it's a valued keepsake. So those are the kind of intrinsic things that you get from the slogan or the tagline that's now the Pearl of the Mississippi. There's also been 30 years of branding as the Pearl of the Mississippi, and it's been used effortlessly and effectively by many businesses, government, nonprofits, as well as business locations, districts within the community, our cultural and entertainment districts, committees, sports teams, and of course, there's probably too many to mention, but for example, the Pearl and the Mellon City cultural and entertainment districts, projects of the Mississippi 1 and 2 that did a lot of the riverfront improvements, the Pearls of Progress, which was just the most recent. So we've done a lot of things around that branding. There's no other Pearl of the Mississippi, and we can say that because there's no other town that has the moniker of being the city that was built on a massive global industry of the button companies that were here. We are a seed pearl, so to speak, to other industries that have thrived and flourished in a global market. Stanley Engineering, Bridgestone Band-Aid, Carver Pump, Kent Corporation, H&I, Musco Lighting, Monsanto, and the list goes on. The History and Industry Center is housed in Muscatine. It's the only one that's really dedicated to the button industry with the small first floor area that's there for the Pearl of the Mississippi or the Button Industry Museum, which soon is to be registered as a site on the National Register of Historic Places.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yes. That's why we came on today, because we want people to know. So thanks, Jordan. Current branding is being used by many parts of the community, and businesses are using Pearl in their names and in their images, their logos. The Pearl of the Mississippi suggests an image that is pleasing. The Pearl of the Mississippi is distinctive and unique to Muscatine. It sets Muscatine apart from any other town on the Mississippi, and and also anywhere else in the world. Many local citizens have signed petitions that are historic, that are located in our historic downtown, and other parts around the city. And right now, I'll try to give you some. And if people are listening and they want to sign the petitions, they can go to Sycamore Printing, Zog Chiropractic, River's Edge Gallery, Phelps Brothers, Hubble's, the Button Museum, Ellie's, excuse me, Haltree, Nepal Law, Wester Drug, Batteries and Bulbs, Flowers on the Avenue, the Vision Center, Becky Insurance, Carpet One, Lee Insurance, and Studio 180 are the ones that we have right now for locations. I'd like to give you a little bit of insight and let you draw your own conclusions. According to the creative branding narrative on page 14 of the new branding report created for the community, and this is a direct quote, this is how they describe Muscatine. Just like the pearls that form the prolific waters of the Mississippi propelling Muscatine to become the button capital, Muscatine is a rare gem. Multifaceted, gritty, resilient, highly naturally beautiful, and completely unique. With a fascinating history and inspiring future, this global river town allows you to shine on the world stage or thrive right here at home and bask in the glow of the breathtaking streets. Now, if you distill that down, I think Pearl of the Mississippi is a perfect fit because they've used that. And then even, I believe, in some of their research is where they came up with those kind of descriptors. Mm-hmm. What they have put in front of this paragraph is the tagline that they'd like to use, and it's where the river takes a turn for the better. It doesn't identify anything as an image. It doesn't identify us as unique. It doesn't identify us as anything that any other town that would be on a river could be.
It's not something that describes us as something unique and different than.
No.
Gotcha.
Right.
I see.
It doesn't even give a nod to the history or why we are unique and why we were received for those large corporations that I mentioned earlier that were all developed here in Muscatine. Mm-hmm. The statements by the consultants provide reasons enough to retain it when you read that paragraph. Where life is truly rewarding. The brand narrative repeatedly mentions the pearl button industry and the history as a value symbol of identity and uniqueness, but yet it doesn't give a nod to it in the proposed tagline.
I see.
Some people have signed the petitions and have also contacted me. And I'll give you a quote from one of the people. I won't disclose the name, but it's Jane, thank you, and others who have pushed back on the, in my opinion, in quotes, horrible new tag. Where the Mississippi takes a turn for the better, I realize that what they're trying to say is that Muscatine is the only place that flows from east to west. But the new slogan has a negative connotation that everywhere else is bad. That's not going to make us very popular along the river and people that we work with. Plus, a bend in the river isn't anything Muscatine accomplished, like becoming a hub for the pearl button production. And it damages Pearl City Plaza and other hardworking areas that are trying to bring interesting shops and class to the downtown.
I see. And
I've had more of those, but that one was probably the most succinct. How much time do we still have?
Oh, we've got a couple minutes here. I wanted to give you the time to get out the information that you wanted to.
And I could talk for a long time.
And I can tell just how passionate you are about it because it's it's obvious when speaking with you that. So what I'm drawing from this is I can understand where that's coming from, where the Pearl of the Mississippi is much more. It really alludes to what Muscatine is, perhaps more than...
It's our essence.
Right.
They used the term in the marketing brochures, DNA. I think the button industry, our industries are all part of our essence or our DNA, and they've grown. And we do appreciate the Voice of Muscatine covering us and giving us a forum in the paper and some information. And before we went on the air, I told you what the KWPC call letters stood for. And when the radio station first went on the air over 70 years ago, KWPC was chosen by George Volger, who was the founder of the radio station, to be an acronym for keeping watch on the port city. When John Schwanke took over the radio station and some other things, because Pearl was so permeated even at that time as part of our brand, whether it was a formal brand or a non-formal brand, it became known as keeping watch on the Pearl City, even though the original was the Port City.
Mm-hmm. But it changed over time because of.
Sure.
So and so I have to understand then when they put together this other to make this decision to change to the proposed new tagline, stuff like that. Stuff does need to change from time to time, but it needs to match up with what the city, how the city perceives itself or is perceived from the outside. So I can understand both sides. I can understand wanting to make a change. I can understand wanting to keep the same one, but I want to take just a quick moment here. We want to say thanks to Comprehensive Rehab, who brings Moving Forward to you in part by Comprehensive Rehab, offering occupational care after an injury or illness for you or your family member. Joining me in the studio here for Moving Forward this morning, Jane
Daufeldt.
Daufeldt. I almost got it wrong again. I'm glad you said that. Daufeldt, in your group's called the Committee Citizens for Pearl of the Mississippi Branding.
Right.
Okay, and you're joining in. I apologize if you're just joining in. We're speaking with Jane Daufeldt, and she's telling us about the new proposed tagline and where you want to see the proposed tagline.
And we would like to see the Pearl of the Mississippi remain as our tagline, and not to repeat myself, but we also feel that they can use the Pearl of the Mississippi and still maybe make a change that would accommodate some of the other businesses and the partners that are trying to do the branding. And we are in favor of marketing Muscatine, but we want to use the tagline, the Pearl of the Mississippi.
I see.
So you could do the Pearl of the Mississippi, ... meaning more to follow, and it's where, and then you can insert things like where life is amazing, if you're doing sports or things like that, where it's rewarding, where there's opportunities that thrive, where living provides rewards, where life is a gem. I mean, we kind of did but the one that we really, really liked was where Pearl of the Mississippi, built on history, focused on the future. It says a lot more than the proposed tagline of where the river takes a turn for the better. We just don't feel that that's a good descriptor for us. The 7 entities that are developing the marketing plan are Unity Point Turning Muscatine, Muscatine Community College, Muscatine Community School District, Muscatine Power and Water, the City of Muscatine, and Greater Muscatine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and the Muscatine Convention and Visitors Bureau. So those are the 7 entities that are funding the marketing plan. And we're working with Greg Jenkins at the Greater Muscatine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and what we hope is that their group will also see the value in retaining the Pearl of the Mississippi as our tagline.
I see. All right. Well, it's really very interesting. I've been kind of monitoring back and forth, just seeing where all the. I remember I read the article when it first came through, when that one of our folks wrote here, and I've been kind of keeping watch on just what are people thinking, what do people want to see, where's the general mood right now. So thanks for coming in and kind of telling us where you guys stand,
right,
because we want to hear every side of it. So
we've got. We've saved a lot of things on the riverfront, in the downtown, a lot of things that give homage to our history, but give a nod to what we can be in the future.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Jane. It's been a
You're
real pleasure
welcome.
talking to you.
Thanks. I'll come back anytime.
Excellent.
Okay.
Well, we enjoyed having Jane Daufeldt from the Citizens for Pearl of Mississippi rebranding here on Moving Forward. Thanks so much again to Jane for joining us. And as always, this brought to you by Muscatine Power and Water. MockLink is always Muscatine's fastest internet, and gigabit speed is coming. MockLink TV beats satellite and includes video and music streaming. New subscribers save big, even more when you bundle. Learn more at mpw.org. This has been Moving Forward on KWPC and the voice of Muscatine.com.